All right, morning everyone to the Daily High. I will be your only host, Tone Vase, and we are going straight to the charts. Gonna try to keep the show nice and brief because not much has changed. Why am I in a circle? There we go. Okay, that's better. Um, Monthly chart. Exactly what I said yesterday. Nothing changed there. So in yesterday's show, weekly chart, go back to yesterday's show, the daily chart, right? So in yesterday's daily show, uh, us go to the short term chart. Let's open up. I think I was streaming around this time and we were rebounding at around 10 a.m. yesterday. This is the 1 hour chart. So yesterday, it looked, let me see here. This is Wednesday at noon. So yesterday we were right here. So yesterday I was streaming around this time and we were rallying. We hit resistance. This line was there. I did not just randomly drew this line today. This line has been here for a very long time. We hit that line and we completely reversed around, well, that was the 10 a.m. candle. So somewhere around 11 a.m., things took a turn for the worst. Let's take a look here. Right at around 10:20. Yeah, so right at the 10 a.m. reversal here. Wow, how about that? I think I ended yesterday's stream before the 10 a.m. reversal. I'm pretty sure it was like an early stream. So right here we have the 10-10 candle. And the 10-10 candle made a high and down we go. Perfect 10 a.m. reversal, 10-minute MRI top, 10-minute MRI bottom, even though I don't really trade the MRI on a 10-minute chart. What I found really fascinating about this 10-minute chart as I looked at it late last night is, wow, it is really getting rejected off of the MRI resistance line. And then this morning, again, getting crushed off the MRI resistance line. And we now have a brand new third MRI resistance line, but they're all next to each other. And Bitcoin is just not able to break through. When we were hitting this resistance line about an hour ago, hour and a half ago, I was kind of optimistic. I like this pattern. So if I ignore these candles right here, I am pretty bullish here because look, we made a low, we're bouncing, hitting the ceiling, and then starting to break through, and then just got absolutely rejected an hour before market open. This must have been some economic news. We can go over to see what happened at 8:30 in the morning. FinWiz. And let's take a look. What happened this morning? So this morning on the news front, we had personal spending, not a big deal. Nothing at 8:30 in the morning. Interesting. Kind of surprised. The market did take a sharp turn at 8:30 in the morning, but there was no economic news. Very, very surprised. And right now we're at 10 a.m. So just like yesterday, we got rejected at 10 a.m. and went straight down. Right now, it looks like we are rallying at 10 a.m. Will this rally bring us to break out above 90? I gotta try to be optimistic here. The short-term chart looks so great for a breakout. We are looking at the 10-minute chart. We are looking at the 1 hour chart. Uh, this crash to recovery looks really good. If we can just get over this 190 hump, we got a chance. There is a chance. But we need to get over it because right now, this is a massive rejection. And if we go to new lows, if we start to approach 87 and a half, Bitcoin is in trouble. It's in real trouble. We were literally in this hope and pray category. The number of days Bitcoin, the number of hours Bitcoin has to recover and capture the $90,000 area is running really low. We have a day and a half. We have to be over 90,000 by the weekend, and then we have to open next week, like above this MRI resistance line, which currently sits at 91.3 on the hourly chart. We need to get over 90 and somehow stay in between 90 and 92 over the weekend. And then we got a shot at challenging some highs. That's basically all I really have for you guys because the bigger time frames look very weak. The daily chart, there could be an MRI buy coming up on Monday. Sunday, Monday would be great for an MRI buy, but I don't want to see Bitcoin in the $85,000 area. Bitcoin is really playing with fire right now. And I can easily see a drop down to 60,000. I really, really can. And this whole NOTs versus Bitcoin Core debate is a problem. I believe, in my opinion, it's dragging price down. Now, Trump isn't helping. Global economy is not helping. But the other issue is this Bitcoin Core versus NOTs. Speaking of Core versus NOTs, we did a show last night. Also, my health series. By the way, this is what I did. These are real pictures. There's no AI here. I'm at the exact same weight in this picture and this picture. My weight is the same. And I did this in 6 months. Maybe 6 months plus a week. But this was taken in July, around July 4th. Don't remember if this was July 1st or July 10th, but this was in the first half of July. And this was 2 days ago. This was January 20th, and today is January 22nd. Okay, so this is 6 months to go from this to this. And I documented all of it on my personal channel. This is what I looked like 2 days ago. If I can do it at 46, most of you can do it as well. And being a digital nomad makes this harder, not easier. Just so you know. Okay. And on the show front, if I go to my channel, the front two playlists are my 13-part health journey over the last 6 months, and then the Bitcoin Core versus NOTs. And did a show last night. I had something to say at the end. A lot of people didn't like it. But tone is lost in the woods, yes. There's a lot going on here with Core versus NOTs. We are going to continue the series. I have a presentation about Core versus NOTs at Plan B. And this Core versus NOTs debate will hopefully be my last, contribution to the Bitcoin ecosystem to try and steer people once again on the right path, because people could be led like sheep, basically. And let's see. I definitely got it right up to this point, and I'm pretty confident in my views on this debate as well. And I have a presentation about it coming up in El Salvador on Core versus NOTs, because everyone is scared to take an opinion, because everyone has sponsors and they're afraid about people's feelings, and Tone just doesn't give a F. I have no idea how many Bitcoins are frozen with a time lock feature. None whatsoever. So, markets. Back to markets. The 10 a.m. reversal is slow, but it's here. 10 a.m. candle marks the low. And let's see if the 10 a.m. reversal is upon us. Going over to the S&P 500 and also going over to the 10 a.m. reversal. Well, the S&P, gapped at the open, crashed to close the gap. This is the perfect place for a 10 a.m. reversal on the S&P. This is how I would be trading the S&P. Is this current candle, 10:15 candle? It is. And of course, I'm getting a call. Let me reply. And right here, we are reversing off of 10 a.m. And we're doing well. I would be bullish. I would be bullish right here. Let me get a little, nope, not that one. Not that one. This one? Is this the bullish trade? When would I have gone long? If that's the 10:05 candle, I'm going long here. Nope, that's the short. That's a short. That's a long. I would go long on this candle here when it breaks the prior candle's high. My stop loss would have been over here. And right now, my trade would be up 3 points. That's how I would have traded the 10 a.m. reversal. I would have traded this 5-minute candle, and my entry would have been at the break of the prior candle's high. That would have been my bullish trade for the 10 a.m. reversal. This trade right now would be up 3 points. I'm not going to sit here and say I would have caught the bottom. I don't trade like that. This would have been my 10 a.m. trade, and we're going to let this go on a 5-minute candle while we look at the gold market. Let's see what's going on. Here is gold. Gold went up yesterday on a daily chart, and it's hanging in there today. What about silver? Silver on a daily chart went down yesterday, and it's hanging in there today. I still think the gold long, silver short trade is the way to go. I have not entered the trade. I'm just so busy with everything else that I'm doing between the health, longevity, and fitness, between preparing my stuff for El Salvador, between doing Bitcoin Core versus not, doing these streams. And I am one of the hosts of BitChill here in Prospera, where I'm also, talking to the company about maybe moving out here and being involved in some stuff. So this is not a good week for me to trade. Maybe right after El Salvador, when I go back to Panama for a little bit, it would be, a better environment. Unfortunately, I got too much stuff going on for entering trades right now. Somebody wants me to look at Apple. Oh, the S&P is dropping, but that is still my stop loss. Would have worked yesterday for sure. Massive wins yesterday on that trade. Would have been the reversal to the downside, though, not up. Apple monthly is still bullish. I know we have a red one on the MRI, but the overall pattern is bullish. We have the MRI acceleration line ready to be broken. Apple weekly is bearish. We are on a 5. Look at that MRI top. I would not be long Apple right now. I would actually be exiting Apple here back in September of last year, and the green star would have gotten me long, but the reversal candle on the MRI in December would have gotten me out of Apple completely. We are now flirting with the MRI support line. It is below the moving averages. It is declining. Apple is not. I would wait for the reversal before going long Apple. Would I short Apple? No, it is too late to short Apple. The time to short Apple would have been around here. I know we missed the red star candle for some reason. I don't know why the red star candle's not there. Sometimes there are, bugs in the code. Like if I refresh, it shows up. There should be a red star on candle number 3 here. The time to short Apple was either here off the reversal candle or here on the break of the moving average. Or worst case scenario, you're shorting Apple the week of January 5th. But right now, I think it's too late to short Apple. On a daily scale, uh, not good. Wait for a green star candle to go long, but the weekly is still bearish. So Apple is overall bearish, but it's still in a good place. So I would be trying to time the long at this point and not mess around with shorts. How's our Tesla doing? Didn't I have like a trade thingy on Tesla? I did. I did. Okay, so I would have had the trade on Tesla off of the MRI buy, but I would have kept raising the stop loss to the bottom of the prior candle's low. So that means right here, I probably would have taken the stop loss for a profit. However, if I didn't do that, the trade is still in the green. I don't think the trade is there anymore. Uh, Now, had I been trading Tesla, I would have been out of Tesla, whether that would be options or stock, it doesn't matter. So I would have been out of Tesla somewhere over here, like somewhere on this red candle. I'm out, and there's got to be a win here. Yeah, 1 or 2%. I would have made 1 or 2%. I would have been in on Tesla. I wouldn't have waited, right? This is an MRI buy. There's strength on this day, unless it's a Friday. It's not a Friday. It's a Thursday. So I'm buying it here. I'm buying it in the bottom half of the candle, playing the MRI buy, and I'm selling it on this candle off of the big drop on Jan 14. But if I missed it all, I'm still in the trade and I'm making money. So if I was long Tesla, I would stay long and I would just tighten that stop loss. IBRX. Wow. What the hell? I don't know how to analyze these stocks, guys. Immunity Bio. Did they cure cancer or something? What happened? So obviously, I've never heard of this company. Oh, interesting. Look at this. There was an MRI buy over here with extension B and a monthly MRI buy over there. Look at that monthly MRI buy, second consecutive. Look at that monthly MRI top. Oh, shoot. 1 second, guys. I have someone to do. All right. I do have to wrap up. So we have a monthly MRI buy right here. And we have a monthly MRI buy right here, which is bullish on the weekly chart. It's bullish, even though it's kind of went up too far too fast. And on a daily chart, extension C, a reversal candle. I mean, it's too late to buy. In my opinion, it's too late to buy. It's got to pull back and then maybe. All right. Last one. Last one. Last one, DFTX. Last one. Wow, look at this. This thing, beautiful MRI buy back here. Beautiful MRI buy back here. And it's coming up on some resistance. Monthly coming up on an MRI top. Weekly, MRI warning candle. Daily. Everything is going to be lined up. I mean, if you're long, I would take my profit sometime next week because look, next week is an MRI top after a huge rally. So I would profit. If I'm not long, I would stay away from it because it's too late. I don't chase stocks. The time to buy this was on green star candles back here at $8 on a monthly, on a weekly scale. The last time you could have bought it was on this green star candle, but that would have been tough. Um, the best time to buy it on a weekly would have been back here at $6 off the MRI buy, or off of this green star candle at $8 in back in July. Uh, on a weekly scale, uh, I would have had trouble buying this green star candle because of how much it went up in 2 weeks. But yeah, it, or like maybe around here, but that would have been a little bit tricky. But there is consolidation, so that's another time at around $12. Right now, I wouldn't buy it. And on a monthly, it's really reaching its limits. $20 is probably going to be a big limit, and then it pulls back, and then try to buy it at like $10 after a 50% correction. All right, guys, that's it for me. Thank you all for watching. Check out our latest episode of Bitcoin Knots versus Core, and also check out my 6-month journey to go from this to this, and I weigh the same in both images, give or take 1 pound. I think this was closer to 139, and this was closer to 141. But it's pretty much 140 in both images, and I went from this to this in 6 months. Okay, so if you're curious how I did it, check out the playlist on health, longevity, and fitness. All right. Hopefully see some of you in El Salvador, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, guys.